Good morning. We got a nice little short breakdown here, or as short as I'm going to make it. I want to talk about, actually, it's a really interesting one, Ko versus Rowe. Now, this one's kind of interesting in that I think a lot of people are taking Ko, and I'm going to be really straight up with you. I am kind of taking him too. If you want to tell me, or you want to ask me who I'm going to pick, straight out, I think it's going to be Ko here. But it's a really interesting fight, and I think you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. All right, let me just break it down real quick for you. Tell you exactly what you should do. Let me know what you want to do. Enough of this bull. All right. So I think why Ko has the advantage. I wrote down my little notes here. I think he's got that, of course, the takedown accuracy, 53%. Never mind, my dogs are barking over there. And I think that yeah, his takedown defense 75%. I don't think Rowe's going to really have. He's not going to really go for takedowns here. It's not really necessarily his game. And I think Ko it should hold up here. I think Rowe's takedown defense has not been the best. I mean, it's 56%. And I think maybe Ko can take advantage of that. Rowe is a lot taller though. It could help him. But it's just he's not shown like maybe he's improved, but he's not shown that he's the best grappler, right? I think Ko's got that judo-based style, right? He's got the throws, he's got the clinches there, and I think Rowe's striking it could be neutralized by that, so it could be dragged out. That's one reason why I think Ko's going to win because of control time, getting more minutes on the clock there, and of course Rowe is dangerous though. He's got that long reach, 80.5-inch reach. It's crazy, but you can also see that his vulnerability lies in being like under pressure. He doesn't like to be pressured necessarily, especially if it's from grappling. So if Rowe can get that jab going, or you get to use his reach and everything, it's good. But if you really pressure him, he could start to wilt under pressure, maybe. And I think just like I said, so I think that his Ko's grappling could actually help diffuse it, like I said, and kind of basically mitigate the punching power of Rowe, right? Also, I do want to talk about this though, the reach and everything. Rowe's got that reach. I mean, it's also 6'3". Ko's like only 5'10". So I mean, obviously, you get height advantage, reach advantage. But I mean, this is in the apex, dude. I mean, that's another thing take into consideration. Sorry, is that I think that smaller cage, it's often used, for preliminary fights and stuff. But yeah, they have the whole card on the apex here, of course, and so that kind of helps grapplers, I think, in my opinion, because it helps to the strikers don't want to have enough movement. They don't have enough space to move around in, so they're more likely to get clinched up. I think also the experience and momentum, we got to talk about that as well. I think Rowe, he's been in the UFC longer, man. He's got wins and losses there, but he's cut his teeth in this organization, right? He's battle tested, if you want to put it that way. But Ko's UFC experience is like it's still limited. So I mean, he had his debut in June. Yeah, my notes here, debut is in June, and so I think that is kind of Rowe it could be a good dog here. That's what I'm telling you. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, but I still think that Ko's momentum is strong, and he's got a good skill set to kind of get to try to exploit Rowe's weaknesses in grappling. So let me just break this down how they see the fight actually going down. I think I expect Ko to win by decision, most likely unanimous decision. Takedowns, top control, clinch work, probably limiting Rowe's big shots, right? So he can't get enough momentum going. And I think as far as it maybe going a finish, it's possible, but I think Ko has finishing ability. Also he's got a KO win before. He's done it before, and but it's not been in the UFC so far. So and I think uh, his debut went to decision, so it's kind of points to more likely a longer fight, happening. And the only alternate path I think here of a victory, or rather, I think a chance for an upset, if you want to put it that way, is if Rowe can keep this fight standing, use his reach, landing big strikes early or late, regardless, it doesn't matter. Just capitalize on any kind of weakness from Ko, or anytime Ko is not minding his p's and q's on the feet, you can try to take advantage of that. And you know, but I just feel like it's just with this matchup maybe less likely. So I'm gonna break now in summation here. We're gonna just talk about what I think you should do. I think Ko, I think he's good. I think if the line is decent enough, you could just straight up just bet a couple of units on him. Maybe you don't even necessarily need to parlay him if you don't want to. And I think the over 1.5 as well because of this. I think is really good because that's a nice separate parlay. If you're not really feeling either guy, you think, oh, Rowe is a good dog. I think Rowe is a good dog too. Rowe by KO is like almost like plus 300 or something, so that could be worth a sprinkle. But I think the Ko is the pick in a separate parlay over 1.5. And if you're getting overzealous here, or if you're fading that, I think you can sprinkle on Rowe. And if you are trying to do a little pre-hedge here, if you got like Co as a winning, and you also have the over 1.5. You can just sprinkle on Rowe plus 300 by KO. That's nice. Just kind of get some of your money back. Let me know what you're liking, what you're fading, and just keep it here, guys.